Okay, so we'll discuss glass transition temperature. Generally, glass transition temperature is the temperature at which the glassy state of the material transforms into rubbery state. Now, generally, if a material is completely amorphous, then this is characterized by glass transition temperature Tg. In short, this is Tg. When a material is fully crystalline, like a metal, so which is generally characterized by, if I say simply metal or a crystal, which is characterized by Tm, melting temperature. But most of the polymers which are semi-crystalline in material, semi-crystalline in nature, they are characterized by both Tg and Tm, both glass transition temperature and melting temperature. Now, how we can determine this glass transition temperature? So this is very important. So this is like when a polymer is in glassy state, so when you heat it, it becomes rubbery at a particular temperature. So that particular temperature is glass transition temperature. Similarly, when the polymer is in rubbery state and when you cool it, so again the temperature at which it becomes glassy is glass transition temperature. So this is a transition between glassy and rubbery, depending on whether you are heating or cooling, right? So it can happen both ways. So what are the characteristics changes that happens? The glass transition temperature, what it generally does is either the material becomes rubbery or glassy. So this is something to do with the molecular motion in the polymer. So glassy state, here the polymer becomes brittle in nature. In rubbery, it is like rubbery state, or it has more pliable, you can say pliable. Pliable here. So this is the temperature at which there will be segmental motion, polymer segmental motion. So this is the temperature at which the molecules of the polymer undergo segmental motion. Segmental motion. So these polymer chains get enough thermal energy so that they undergo segmental motion above glass transition temperature, above glass transition temperature. So this is the temperature. This is sort of onset of molecular motion. It is also known as onset of molecular motion. Onset of molecular motion is the beginning of molecular motion. The polymer chains achieve enough thermal energy to undergo a long range motion. Okay. So there are various ways to determine this glass transition temperature. We will discuss few of the techniques by which this glass transition temperature is measured. So before going to that, let me just give you some example of some polymers which show a particular glass transition temperature. PDMS is polydimethyl siloxane. Polydimethyl siloxane. siloxane. It shows a Tg of minus 120 degrees Celsius. Similarly, polystyrene, a thermoplastic polymer, which shows a Tg of plus 100 degrees Celsius. Another example is polyisoprene. It's a natural rubber. It shows about minus 73 degrees Celsius temp. Class the Tg. Okay, there are some just example that I am giving here to give you an idea how different polymers have different Tg. Okay. Now let us just try to understand how glass transition temperature changes with how glass transition temperature is determined. So here I have already plotted some of the curves between here volume versus temperature. Okay, now what you see here, there is a one slope here and there is a slight change in the slope in this line, and then this line goes upward. Now in principle, like in ideal case, this should have been two lines, one line this and another line this, but in real situations, in real polymers, you will get this kind of not sharp transition. You will get some sort of like shallow transition, and then you just draw a tangent here. So wherever they meet with each other, that is the temperature. We call it glass transition temperature. Okay, so this is volume or either specific volume versus temperature. So this is the process one can find it out. And how do you find this particular curve? By using a technique called dialectrometry. Okay. The dialectrometry is a technique by which you can find it out glass transition temperature, as you can see over here. What it does, I will not go the detail about how this technique works. It is simply by the volume change with respect to temperature. As you keep on increasing the temperature, how the volume changes, and it has been observed that there is a slope change of the volume with respect to temperature, and this is the slope. This is the point where they meet two slopes. So that is the glass transition temperature. So this is one of the way to measure glass transition temperature. Another way is just derivative of this particular curve. That is alpha. Alpha is volume expansion coefficient. Okay, alpha is volume expansion coefficient with respect to temperature. So if you plot this volume alpha with respect to temperature, then you will get this kind of sigmoid curve, and somewhere in the middle will be the glass transition temperature. So this is another way of determining glass transition temperature. This particular one can be measured by the same experiment, in fact. Okay, from the dialectrometry itself you can find it out. Okay, so one more way by which you can make out or determine glass transition temperature, that is enthalpy versus temperature.